Well, hi guys.
Hi.
Hi.
It's nice to finally be able to hear and see everyone.
Yeah,
Also, I haven't seen your guys' faces in so long.
I know. That's so weird. You're right.
Like we
Yeah,
haven't
right.
seen
Because
full faces.
we've whenever we've seen each other, we've had masks.
Yeah. It's literally been almost a year since I've seen both of your guys' faces.
That is
Yeah, that's
true.
true because it was like Erica's
March.
birthday party, right? Last March.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
hmm
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah, and we didn't wear masks at that.
because we didn't
No.
know. No one was
Yeah,
wearing masks then,
Yeah.
which is
so weird.
crazy.
We were just hoping, I guess, or
Or they were telling
we
us at that point that they didn't think it was that.
right.
But
Right.
what a
Right.
difference a year makes. Actually, it's funny that you should bring that up because,
Sorry, guys.
okay,
Little crash.
I was also just looking back at my calendar and I was looking at what we were doing about a year ago, and we were doing the concerts at Bag and Baggage in Hillsboro, the undertaking, with
Oh, that's right.
almost
Yeah.
exactly a year ago.
Wow.
Yep. Yep. And then a month from now, we had Hair of the Dog. Like we were just one after the other last year.
Yeah, we really were.
Driving all over the place and
Yes,
being in enclosed spaces with other people and all those things we're
absolutely
not
not.
doing now. But
What
it's
do you
go ahead.
what do you guys miss the most about um our schedule and our trio lives before a year ago?
I think it is just being having that in-person connection with our audience. I mean, we still feel love virtually from them, but it really just isn't the same as being in, as I was saying, that enclosed space with other actual people.
Yeah.
What do you miss, Esther?
I think it's all variations on the same. I think the energy, just the immediate feedback from people and just even down to like the look on their face when you're done. I'm gonna get emotional, but when you're done playing and you turn around, you look at the audience and they're all there, and it's not necessarily just the clapping, but some people will be looking at you and they look emotional like I do. Some of them look just happy. Some of them, of course, will look a little bored. Um, but it's just so cool to see how the same experience and the same piece of music can affect everyone in that room in a slightly different way,
Mm-hmm.
and to just immediately sense that. I think that's so unique to what we do.
Yeah.
I
I
think
think it's really interesting how it's like changed at least for me, like in a strange way, it's like changed the way that I trust people's experience. Like, and also how I trust your guys' experience and how, like, in a weird way, our experience feels more powerful because it's the only energy in the room.
Mhm. Yeah.
And I feel like I was really used to having this like massive amount of energy when we
Mhm.
perform. And I remember the first time that we did a live stream at the church in Vancouver,
mm-hmm.
Mhm.
how strange it felt to stop playing and not have clapping.
Yeah.
But I also remember feeling like there's something about this that is like for us. And like when those people are not there, that's really cool that our experience somehow feels uniquely authentic in a way that
Mhm.
and like personal in a way that is not the same when the audience is there, and that was really interesting to not be reacting at all to their energy or to anyone else in the room, but to really only in a performance setting be reacting to you guys. That was weird and kind of cool, actually.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's both a blessing and a challenge, right? Because I think the you use the word trust, which is really interesting because I think I 100% have to rely on just the people right here that I'm looking at. It's all three of us that I have to rely on, and I have to trust you guys so hard.
Yeah.
And it's a weird thing because as a performer, I think we are used to trusting that the audience will give us some of that energy. And
Yeah.
we do not have that. And it's just whatever we got and whatever we can put out there.
Right.
And it can be a little exhausting, but then also at the end of the recording or whatever performance, it's like, oh wow, like we were really, really close there. Like we were, I don't know if that sound recorded.
It did.
In a very special Esther kind of way.
Enjoying it anymore, but I've been listening to the recordings and I was pleasantly blown away by so many moments, and I just feel so lucky that I do get to continue to make sounds, moments, memories like that with the two of you during this time. And it's really magnificent to think that even with all the extra precautions that we've had to take and all the distance, both literal and figurative, that we've had to put in our ensemble setup, we really still managed to um, speak together. And I think that's like as one, I guess is the point. Speak together as one. And I think that's just so rare, and I feel so very lucky to have that with you guys.
Same.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and that's really what it is. In spite of whatever barriers there might be for us and for anyone, it's really finding ways to connect past those barriers that, makes what we do special and makes me grateful for what we do and grateful for the two of you. And I think that's what we're trying to bring to people with this recording on around about a day that's supposed to be about, connecting with others through love, showing love to others, showing love to yourself. I think we all wanted that to come through in the recording, and it sounds like maybe it did a little
I
bit.
think so, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Did either of you guys have a favorite moment or from any of the pieces that we've put on this program that you just feel really connected with each other?
Hmm.
I feel like the opening of Schumann, Robert
Mm.
Schumann, like there's something cool about what I love about actually Mendelssohn and Schumann is how they start sort of the same way with like this solo idea, and then there's this really beautiful marriage of sound. And one of the things that I really love about the way we play is that we pay attention to the way those sounds overlap and the way that our instruments kind of can sound like each other in the transition moments. And I just think that's really special, and I don't think that's a thing that I feel on a regular basis. And I think that's one of the things that makes playing with an ensemble long term such a cool thing is you learn people, and there's no denying that the three of us have a musical connection. And it's not just simply a musical connection, it's like a connection on so many levels. It's like spiritual, it's personal, it's all of the things that are important about love, right?
Mm.
Like it's all of those things. And you know musicians are taught to be self-critical, and I think that's fine. I think those can be opportunities for growth, but I also think, every once in a while you climb a big mountain and you turn around and you're like, damn, that was a really big mountain I just climbed. And then you look over the hill and you're like, hey, look, there's another one. I can climb that one too. Doesn't mean there isn't work to be done, but I think it's still it's great to be able to work really hard with people that you love and connect with and make something special and share it with people. I mean, what else is there, right? That's the point.
Yeah.
That's what we're here to do. So,
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if there's anything to add to what you just said.
Is there, do either of you guys have a favorite piece from our program? Like one that you're most excited for people to
I really like how we played the Mendelssohn, I have to say.
hear? It was special, guys. I will not lie. As someone who has listened to the recording recently, yeah.
yeah, I felt pretty good about Mendelssohn too. It's just like right from the first note that you play, Susan, I'm always just like so
Hmm.
excited. I
Aw,
Yeah.
love that movement.
me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. I think Robert Schumann's pretty cool too.
Hmm.
I mean, I love your solo at the beginning of that one, Esther. So,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank you.
and
It's
it was
so
so good that day. Like, really good.
It was.
well,
Yeah,
and I have to say, again, having listened to the recording, when you come in, I felt our connection has never been better. And I think in
it was
some
good.
ways, just again, with all the things that are in the way of us connecting right now, it has made us try twofold, threefold to really connect and make sure that we are there.
fun connections that could be made to this program. And I was thinking about, how we talked about how we thought this would be great for people to have on in the background as they were enjoying dinner. And with not being able to go out to restaurants in quite the same way anymore, I know we've been doing a ton of cooking at home. And so I was going to ask you what you thought might be a dish or dishes that would go particularly well with this program, if anything comes to
Dang, good
mind.
Ooh,
question.
I
Yeah.
love this question. Huh.
While you're pondering, I have to say that I kind of came up with that idea because when I was in Germany, actually right before we couldn't travel anymore, I was in Leipzig, and at the bookstore, I found this wonderful little book called Clara Schumann Invites You to Dinner. And
What?
it's recipes from her recipe book.
Oh,
Oh,
So
wow.
then that made me think, well, we have Clara Schumann on the program, and it's a dinner program. So yeah, let's talk about food and music
oh,
together.
uh,
Is there a recipe in there that,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, of course, it's like good Central European food. So there's a lot of recipes for like stewed meat and potatoes and things like that. I because it's Valentine's Day, I went right to the dessert section to see what was in there,
Valid.
and apples. Apparently, she liked apples. There's kind of like an apple pudding type recipe. There's a rice pudding recipe in there, and then there's one for something that's called Dampfnudeln, which are these really delicious, fluffy dessert dumplings that usually get served with like a vanilla custard sauce. So that's sounds like what Clara Schumann liked to eat. And in
Yeah.
the book, they also say that apparently Robert did not like sweet things,
Hmm.
but there were still plenty of sweet recipes in her book. So they were like, ah, she probably made these for herself, or had help making them for herself, even if Robert was like, no dessert. That's the opposite of the way things are in my household. I enjoy dessert, but my husband is the one with the super sweet tooth.
Uh, I have like no intelligent thought about food after listening to that because I feel like I would sound dumb.
I just feel like I got a little hungry for no reason. Um, I realized how much of what we are doing is so shared. Our voices are shared, our moments are shared, our spotlights are shared. It's so communal, and that is a lot of trust, as you said, Hannah. And I think that also there's a lot of love there. There's a lot of love
Esther, are you crying?
here. Do you have to ask?
It is cool though because there is something interesting that happens. It's like, when you tell your students to play with their eyes closed, like when you remove a certain sense, your other senses become heightened. And I think because there have been things removed, we're in this year with the way that we are, making music differently, it's heightened other things for us and made other connections stronger and allowed us opportunities to try different things and connect in different ways. And I think in some ways that's always a good thing. It's what makes us
Yeah.
grow, right? As humans, like you have to be adaptable, and there's no denying it's been a struggle or that there have been things that are hard, but that's just the way life is. So,
Hmm.
you know, you make what you want out of it.
And that's why I love being in this trio. Really, to be
Yeah,
with like minded people who are open to new things and open to growing as people and
right.
doing that as a team is really special and rewarding.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
feel lucky that I have you guys and that we have our audience who has supported us, who has checked in, who has tuned into live streams, who has just interacted with us to see how we're doing and donated. Of course, the donations help. But, you know, more than that, just knowing that we have people out there who want to hear us and are going to be there when we can, be there in person when we can be there in person, but who also allow us to play for them in their homes right now, and which is really the only way that we can. And That's so
Yeah.
cool that we have that.
I think like massive credit goes to the audience for being adaptable as well, because I think
Hmm.
sometimes as musicians we forget how important things are for live audiences. I mean, there are people who rely on going to concerts as much as we rely on playing them. And so I think that adaptability has been huge. Learning how, I mean, there have been people who have learned things about technology this year they probably never wanted to know in an effort to to participate in the way that they can participate. And I think that's amazing, you know? It's
Yeah.
collective adaptability.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I
Well, guys, I'm really excited for people to see this program, and I'm really excited that we all got to record it together and that we still are making music during this time.
yeah. Thanks all for doing this Zoom chat thing. I think this is our
Yeah,
first trio Zoom chat. So
Yes, it
it
is
is.
actually.
we might
Well,
have to
it's
do it
nice
more
to just
often.
have a conversation
Yeah.
Yeah.
and see
Yeah.
faces.
Exactly.